Greetings and salutations and welcome back. Alright, so work's been keeping me away. Summer rush, people keep calling out, so I'm a little bit tired. I won't be uploading as much, or even less than usual. But I will try to upload as much as I can and get this wish list finished with, and move on. Before I continue with where I last left off, I'd like to backtrack to this decoration and this antenna decoration. Going back to this, this tank decoration, I made the wish to see it as an atmosphere processor. If you're on a planet with poison, radiation, or just can't breathe, it takes the air on a capital vessel or a base, filters it, makes it breathable, puts it into the O2 tank automatically, or makes us little bottles, or both, the oxygen bottles. I realized while at work, it just came to me, what if you're on a space station, or on a moon or a planet with no atmosphere? So I thought about it, and I thought of two options. One, you can have a special hookup build with a water O2 condenser and a little farm, all automatic, with plant fibers to make oxygen and water. Or you can add ice crystals in the game, have a drone control. If you're on a space station, the drones go out, get the ice crystals, come back, and it puts it into the processor. It filters it into air, or on the moon, or a combination of the two, with the plant fibers and the processor. And this one isn't really wish list. It's more of a, I can't think of the exact word. Basically, if those of you who remember, I made the wish to see this as an alternative alternative power source other than solar. But instead of wind, have them be pressure plates for differences in the weather, radiation storm, or natural radiation that comes from space, and the pressure goes up against the plates and generates power for the base. The YouTuber Spange is an experimental Alpha 10 and started off on the lava planet. I realized that would be great. The constant pressure would create more power, and if the studio that makes the game watches this video and wants to add it in, the limit should probably be not 15 like a solar panel, maybe 20. And on a nice planet with low pressure, you can set it to high or low, or have it automatic, where sun isn't so prevalent. Prevalent? Yeah, I think that's the word. That was just those were just thoughts that came to me. But basically, what I'm trying to suggest is a bonus on different worlds. I'm sorry, guys. Again, I am very, very tired. Now, when I last left off, I mentioned about hiring people or being paid by people. Each table, like these, have a different function. This one, you could be hired or hire scientists or get paid by scientists to study alien organisms, and that could be used in conjunction with the cryofreeze. Or, because of those little drains, remove toxic waste and get paid to do that. Or if you find a warp gate on the solar system or the planet you're on, or teleportation, or artifacts, scientists pay you, or you hire a scientist and use this table to study the warp gate, teleportation, and in return you get money. Or if you import optics and robotics, the optics can make night vision, while the robotics makes the armors you can't build in the constructor with a boost. For cell or personal use. And the archaeologists pay you, and this table can be used with 3D image of what they study, but also it could make maybe fertilizer for improved crops, or narcotics and liquor to sell, and maybe have a scenario where some planets won't allow that. Basically like the 1920s prohibition, and then you use the bar, of course, to sell the two, one or the other. Now, I also mentioned, I think, hiring Talon on planets with Talon are, and the Talon can make leather, ancient relics, we call them alien relics. So if you bring in jewelry, someone brings in raw diamonds to make jewelry. Firewood for camping, fish, rent out boats, and have a nice little economy start up. Now, by doing this, and with the conveyor belt system mentioned in the last episode, you can set up fridges for food or medicine. This tank I mentioned to be water, so you can have 2 new decorations, a fountain and a swimming pool, and have the constructor redesignated, like have a little drop down thing, and have it as a dispenser for tents. Oops, I switched that back. Switch it out for tents, have displays of condensers, heaters, portable constructors, and have a special block build to place the tents and all that, and the motorcycle. And it tracks people and shows what you have in inventory. Now what you don't display, you can have the media center display for you of the inventory you have. Now to attract people to your base, you can use this antenna as a transmitter. And to make sure people go where you want them to go, have this decoration as a place saying back off. And use the logistics screen, like for the conveyor belt, for the elevators, so you or your employees can go sideways, up, down, but tourists can only go up or down. And plants, some plants will remind them of home, some plants can show what's around the solar system. Have a hologram screen telling the dangers of like a lava plant, or maybe some plants be poisonous. The nicer the base, the more tourists. And of course, once again, this screen that I keep using, but this time it's for civilian use. So it has the map. It says Zurax here, Talon here, Polaris here, and you designate areas, camping, points of interest. You can set courses. For those of you who remember my very first episode that was in the wish list, the THC in the story of 8584 was supposed to be an expedition ship. So you could probably set up like small vessels or capital vessels as cruise liners and set a course around the planet or solar system you're on and be at headquarters. Hold on, there was something else. Or taxi service, yeah, taxi services, or if you're on the ocean planet, cruise liners with the buoyancy blocks. And then this decoration can be used as permissions while you're here, hunting, camping, exploration, cruise line, to work, scientific archaeology, so on. Now this hologram can be redesigned, redesigned. You can have this, and it has information that people want to know around the solar system or of home, or it can have a 3D image of the planet or the solar system you're on. Now, if someone comes to your base but doesn't have a lot of money, the trading station can be useful if they let's say they have, for whatever reason, not a lot of money, but copper, or just found gold ingots. Sure, you just found it, let's take your word for it. And they exchange it for money. And of course, games, dancing. And if you're going to set up a hotel, then you're going to need to accommodate these people. Each bed might have a different function. When I say like invite people to your base, I don't mean like online, I mean NPCs, basically. I just wanted to get that clear. And of course, for camping, you don't have to have the nicest shower, just something basic. But as for the toilet, I feel is mundane. This is perfect for camping, but for a nicer shower, the nicer the items, the richer the tourist, or the visitor, or whatever you want to call them. So maybe have a nicer upscale toilet design. Okay, so I'm almost at my time limit that I set for myself. Before I leave, there are 2 more items. One is the display stand for the tents I mentioned. There could be another scenario where, let's say, the Talon are being attacked by the Zurax, and you accept refugees, maybe in little tents. I'm trying to think of an example, like a fortification. If you have a basic military fort, so you don't really have a lot of room for people, you can set up the little blocks and put tents in there, and set accommodations like water condensers, outside bathrooms, heater coolers, things of that nature. that about does it. Okay, so I'm sorry if I sound incoherent or drunk. It's just I'm tired. I've been covering some people, working double shifts. So I'm going to end the video here because I'm just exhausted. But in my next video, I'm going to talk about hiring a security force for visitors against like spiders or nightmares, and a military force, because all this trade, all this visitors and miners and scientists that you're bringing in will kind of irritate people. Preferably the Polaris. So I'll talk about that next time. I'll try to upload again soon, if energy in my body allows it. But until then, good day or night to wherever you may be, and I am signing out.